time to get grimy.
Another edition of Spectrum Vida is right here for you. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me are my co-hosts Guillermo Cita and Albert Cita. So this is kind of a entertainment podcast. I'm gonna see it every week because you never get new listeners. I want to see what we are, what we do.
I don't think it's an entertainment podcast.
Entertainment,
I
lifestyle.
think it's
well, we're entertaining, right? So it's
whatever.
podcast.
I think it's an opinionated podcast.
Okay, so Albert, where were you this weekend?
I didn't even know that was a category. Opinionated
podcast.
podcast. Isn't every podcast technically opinionated?
Kind of, yeah. A little way
Unless you listen to like all the facts in
all the facts. You know what? Next week, all the facts and Spectrum Vida start listing facts. So where were you at this weekend? People that we actually know what we're doing here. So you were doing
so I know I don't look the part, but I do a lot of variety sports. I went and covered the spring training for the Dodgers. I saw him play against. He shows you that I'm not a big fan.
Dodgers do suck.
As long as you're paying.
No, I wouldn't say that. They played the Indians and they played the Reds. So I went to the spring training over there in Arizona. Yeah. It was hot. I saw a lot of good prospects. I saw their new shortstop. Maybe you know his name.
Corey Seager?
Is that his name?
It's supposed to be. That's the big shortstop they're talking about.
Well, I know they got.
You're talking about Jimmy Rollins?
Yeah, Rollins.
He's not a prospect.
Oh, he's not a prospect.
36 years old.
He's about to retire.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, he looked really good though. Okay. I'll tell you that he looked really good. I know I saw some guys from their single A team. They played pretty good. I know I'm giving you a bunch of worthless information because I'm not telling you any names or what they or facts or stuff.
Good. I think you.
But I did record it, and so hopefully we'll have like a nice little highlight of them playing. Maybe that will entertain you guys.
Albert just like filming it like a pigeon flying by. Like there's a game going on. And Guillermo, you were in Vegas, right, for a soccer tournament?
Okay, so last weekend I missed.
Yeah.
I was at a tournament in Orange County. This weekend I had another tournament in Vegas. I got to take in some sightseeing. I got to do some.
Wait, did you win?
No, we lost, unfortunately. But I got to enjoy the club scene. We won. We did win last weekend. I didn't bring the trophy or anything like that. I did give it out though.
Oh, okay.
But before I even begin my talk, because I'm gonna forget, Alan Jackson actually asked me to say something during
one of our correspondents. Yeah, Alan Big Game Jackson. You reference him on the show.
Eventually you'll see him on this show. But what he wanted to say is he wanted to grind my gear segment.
Okay, where's he at? Is it through you?
Through me.
Okay.
So his grind his gears is when you give a hypothetical situation to someone and they say, well, that's not realistically going to happen. And so you're like, I'm telling you hypothetically that what if this were to happen? They're like, well, it's not going to happen, so I can't give you an answer. So that really grinds his gears.
Alan Jackson, ever the conversationalist.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jackson because sometimes you're with people and you get kind of bored and maybe you just want to have a topic out there, something to talk about. Because I'm always around a lot of boring people, and the only way I can get myself
strange hypotheticals
is you know what happened if a meteor hit, bro? Where'd you go? You know?
Yeah, and then I guess to Alan's response to that question, that person would be like, well, a meteor wouldn't hit, so I don't even know what I would do.
It must be some pretty strange people Jackson's talking to in the office, huh? So what I want to talk about this week is...
but that...
that's yours? Okay, what's your
So what I really wanted to talk about, one thing
people cutting you off?
No. Well, I want to go to club...
This doesn't grind your gears, though.
No, it doesn't.
This is part of your Vegas.
This is my Vegas experience, and I'm doing a review.
Okay.
Of Club Omnia at the Caesars Palace.
Oh, wow.
Grand opening.
I like how Guillermo's coming to our travel correspondent. Like last week, if you go on SpectrumVida.com, you have a review of his Disney World. Now he's going to write a review for...
so expect my article on Omnia.
Can you put that travel correspondent?
Yeah, there you go. Don't blame it on me. Blame it on the night. So that means Calvin Harris was playing. You love that, huh? That run-out sentence.
I don't get it. What is it?
Oh, that's his song.
Oh,
Calvin Harris' song. So I want to go see Calvin Harris.
As a club.
Okay.
Tell me right
Calvin Harris is awesome. The venue is amazing. I mean, you get nitrogen shot. I mean, you get ice thrown at you. You have dancers from the roof with umbrellas, just dangling, dancing, and then you have like this big chandelier coming up and down the whole time.
This is part of the show?
Yeah, it's part of the whole club scene. I mean, it's going on 24/7 while the club is in there, and it's amazing. It's a great venue. It's just it gets way overcrowded. So if you are ever seen Calvin Harris before, I wouldn't recommend going. But if you've never seen Calvin Harris, do go try to check it out.
I went to Disney World, but I don't recommend it. I went to Vegas, has awesome time, saw Calvin Harris, but you know what? I don't recommend it.
Yeah,
I like how, what are we trying to promote?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
All I want to know is, are the drinks expensive?
I got 2 Jack and Cokes at Omnia, $40.
Oh man. Oh,
yeah, I'm not going to the club.
That's expensive. You find me at the penny slots, bro. How about that?
Actually, after Omnia, I did go gamble a little bit at the penny slots.
You can find me at the buffets. I'll give you a review of the Mandalay Bay buffet because that buffet is awesome. I'll tell you that right now.
So, you know what? I'll kind of switch over to what grinds my gears segment. Did you guys see last week?
It's either grind my gear section or a review.
Yeah, or a review. Like, what just makes me kind of
like
it's all grind my gears today, guys.
This whole show is just called grind my gears. You guys see last week Zoolander 2, Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson, the Paris fashion show?
Yes.
It was kind of a cool introducing, but that's like, it's kind of a cool little stunt. But then I thought, do we really need a Zoolander Part 2?
I think they waited too long.
Exactly.
And we're going to get Anchorman number 2.
Yeah, well, like Anchorman, yeah. So they kind of...
my whole thing about this is comedies should never have a sequel.
Okay.
I think comedies is a special category where the reason it's funny and the reason people laugh is because it's an original concept and stuff like that. And I think if you do a sequel, you're kind of beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I use the same jokes. I have like a list of jokes I always tell people, but I make sure to tell them to people that haven't heard it yet. Because if you keep telling that same joke, it's not funny no more. It's not original. And so, like, I know when to tell it. Every now and then I might hold one back. You know, there's a couple jokes I still haven't told Alex, but I'm holding them so, but the right time, yeah, exactly. So
it kind of goes to one of my favorite comedians is Patton Oswalt, and I'm pretty sure it was him. I apologize to the comedian I'm stealing from. He said about like difference between a comedian and a music artist, right? So you go to a music artist to hear a song perform live that you've heard 1,000 times before on the radio, right? But if you go to a comedian for just hear original material, right? Because if you hear a joke twice, for some reason it doesn't work, and you kind of get mad.
It's
right?
like seeing Kevin Hart the movie and then going and seeing him live. It's the same jokes, guys.
Yeah, it's the same joke. So it's kind of like you said, it's kind of weird trigger that we know. I heard this joke before. It's not funny anymore. So that kind of like also with Zoolander 2, Kevin Smith announced that he's going to make Clerks 3 and Mallrats 2 as well. So those are kind of that's a long time with the Ghostbusters going to do a all women's cast and then all males cast.
I hope this is a segue to Feed the Trolls because you're going to get a lot of trolls out there because people like to put Kevin Smith on a pedestal. I'll tell you right now, he's a one-hit wonder. Kevin Smith sucks, people. I saw the walrus, whatever thing. He owes me $1.50 because that's how much it cost me on Redbox, and I'm an idiot for freaking renting it in the first place, knowing that Kevin Smith sucks.
Should've just saw
and so feed that trolls,
Yeah, and this is on the heels of the Ghostbusters Men and Women cast, and also last year Dumb and Dumber 2. Like you said, it's kind of unwanted sequels. I mean, I'd rather see honestly, I'll go dish out money to watch a comic book movie, so it's kind of weird. So, any sequels that you guys saw before? That what's the point of this? Or any sequels that surprised you, maybe?
Sequel for a comedy or a sequel
in general? Like, this is a really good sequel.
Well, Batman,
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. I mean, it was even better than the first one.
Yeah.
But in terms of comedy, I cannot think of one.
A good sequel.
No.
Yeah, neither can I.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I want to say The Dark Knight was probably one of the best sequels. I've seen Godfather 2
to
this day. I mean, he should have stopped at 2.
Yeah.
But I still, 3, whatever. It's
Terminator
cool.
2 was really good too, right?
Terminator 2, yeah, even though it was who did it? Who directed it? I hate the guy. James Cameron.
Aliens.
Hate the guy, but he did good Aliens and he did a good Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that Aliens 2 is where the Aliens 1 though, because I really enjoyed Aliens 1.
Yeah,
But see again, see the trend here. None of them are comedies. Comedies, I don't think deserve a sequel.
You guys brought up Aliens, and I remember at Disney World, if you go to Hollywood Studios, it's actually they have a ride where you go through the movies.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
And Aliens makes that, and you would not think that with a children's theme park, and you have an alien just coming down.
One of the scariest movies ever made.
It was alien coming down, and what's the girl's name, the main actress?
Oh, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver. She's like behind the thing, like oh, the alien's coming. and I'm not kidding. I took my son. He's 2 years old. He was so scared in that little section.
Maybe next week we can do the best prequels.
prequels?
Because I did want to bring up what do you call it, Prometheus, but I'll say for next week.
Yeah, if
we're
guys
gonna talk about
bring a
prequels.
list of your favorite prequels.
Okay, and the last thing I wanted to talk about is I did some sports gambling. No, I wanted to say
In
because
Vegas.
We do not promote gambling.
As we are based in the state of California, we do not.
Yes, but
we are not on any reservations
last time we
as
went to
well,
Las Vegas, we did it on NASCAR.
Yeah.
This time I did it on Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish over Duke, and made the game so much better. I was so intense.
Did you tell our friend Jason Hendricks about this?
I told him, hey, Jason, I'm gonna bet on the game, and he totally dissed me, and I was like, see, you're a real.
They won, didn't they?
Yeah, they won. I was like, you're a real fan. Not even
You know
willing,
what's funny?
willing to wager money.
Him, like tweet out or Instagram some stuff about, oh, congrats Notre Dame basketball, they won. I was wondering why. Like he's a big like Irish football fan, but never anything about the basketball. So probably sparked the trigger.
I know. I probably did because I called them out on it.
Oh, with that said, too, the Ducks lost too, right? In basketball against Arizona.
Oregon?
Yeah, because I think I was in Arizona when Arizona won.
Yeah,
and people were making a big deal out of it, but I mean, I don't follow college basketball.
Yeah, I think we're it is March.
Yes,
so
Arizona did win.
March Madness is
and the actual tournament took place for the Pac-12 at the MGM Grand. So I saw all those Wildcats and Ducks all over the place.
So I like it. I think today we covered horrible sequels, potentially bad sequels, Albert's baseball knowledge. Guillermo not recommending to go to Vegas, but then recommending to go to Vegas. And then we're talking about prequels next week. I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, so right after this is 5 Round MMA.
No, stick around if you want to hear some MMA
yeah,
talk.
again, if you don't like MMA, you can just hit pause. Or, if you hit Command Q on your Mac, it just quits it out, so it's a lot faster, just letting you guys know.
So that is it. So either stick around, or leave. Yeah, see you next week. You are entering the championship rounds. The hashtag for this weekend was welcome to the show, but it should have been who's going to steal the show. Was it one of the two new champions, a former heavyweight champion, or a pair of former tough winners? We discussed this and much more. This is 5 Round MMA. Hello there and welcome. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me, my esteemed co-host Albert Cita, Guillermo Cita. How's it going, guys?
Good. A little suntan, but
suntan. I noticed that.
I was in the middle of the sun all
Hashtag in the sun. Hashtag welcome to the show.
That's what I was gonna say. He looks like burnt like a tomato. I hope it comes across in the camera right now that he's so burnt as a red tomato.
Well, UFC 185. Welcome to the show. Hashtag the Showtime era. Hashtag the time is now. Showtime Pettis. It was supposed to be Anthony Pettis, I think, coming out party, right? Wasn't it supposed to? Did you get that vibe? What it was?
It was more like Dos Anjos had no chance whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's kind of, they were already overlooking who is Don Cerrone going to get a second chance.
Yeah. Or Khabib.
Or Khabib.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were already gunning for the next shot.
Did you get that vibe, Albert, before the pay-per-view started? Like, this was Anthony Pettis coming out party?
Yeah, I even the Embedded, if you watch the Embedded series, it seemed very Anthony Pettis heavy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a champion, so I could see why it would be. But at the same time, it seemed like it was it's called
Welcome to the show, right?
So
one man did not like it. Rafael Dos Anjos dominated Anthony Pettis to a 5-round unanimous decision victory. I think he scored a 50 on all three judges' scorecards. So, last week we had our headlines. Remember Sunday morning headlines? What would it be? I think yours were like, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
My time the show goes on. We were horribly wrong on both of those. Just want to point that out. But is overpowering Anthony Pettis the way to go? I mean, he did lose to Clay Guida by he kind of overpowered him. I think this was the kind of Dos Santos kind of just smothered him and overpowered him. Is that kind of the way to beat Anthony Pettis now?
I think so. I think people put Anthony Showtime's in a pedestal for.
I think we did last week. You did last week's shows,
but not just you guys. Everybody. I think he doesn't have the body of work compared to
consistent, right? Consistent body work.
He just got the championship, but he's been crowned earlier that he's the next big thing. But I don't think he's proven that yet. So we've already seen that he's gonna struggle with wrestlers.
Yeah.
1, 2. You talked about the overpowering. I think that they're starting to figure him out.
Yeah.
Well, I think what made him strong was his explosiveness. I think he never let the other person really find his weakness, because if you watch his other fights, he kind of
quick.
Yeah, and he's attacking real quickly. In this one, he hesitated, and we saw what happened. Same thing with the Clay Guida. If you go back and watch the Clay Guida one, I think Clay Guida kind of did the momentum on that rather than Anthony Pettis.
No, the thing about Anthony Pettis that I noticed is what makes him so special is that he surprises people. He busted out that move that no one saw coming.
Yeah,
that's what caught Benson Henderson. Won the Showtime kick, the submission on Benson Henderson. Those are two good examples. I think now they're starting to figure him out. Hey, if he doesn't have an opportunity to do something special, we can pretty much apply our game plan to him instead of him catching us with this unique move that we've never seen before.
So is it safe to say swag and a nice taper haircut doesn't go that long way in the UFC?
It makes him look nice.
Wait, time out. Is that a taper that he has?
I don't know. Kind of
I think it's more of a high fade.
High fade.
High fade.
I might steal that.
You might steal his high fade. So I want to switch gears out to.
Actually, it's a low fade.
Low fade.
A high fade would have been more like an army haircut.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of low.
That's still pretty clean, I thought. Almost Frankie Edgar's, right? Frankie Edgar had a nice fade going too, didn't he?
Yeah. I think it's called the shadow fade, to be honest.
Haircuts and knockouts only here on 5 Round MMA. So I want to switch gears real quick to the champion RDS. This is a guy who lost his first 2 bouts in the UFC. I never really thought a solid lightweight, but never had thought a future champion, let alone future contender. So is this the evolution now have we seen the progression of a fighter in the UFC? I mean, he's been in the UFC for a while now. So
I always tell him, I coach soccer, if anybody knows. Yeah. I tell my kids, hard work always beats talent.
Yeah.
And sometimes those hard workers develop talent. And I think it's that Dos Anjos falls into
it. It is kind of like the natural was Anthony Pettis and the hard worker was, I mean, not that Anthony Pettis didn't hard work, but like the natural guy was, the natural athlete was Anthony Pettis, right?
Yeah, and I think people need to keep in mind too, because I think he's a permanent, he's a resident in California now. And so he's been doing his camps here in California. I think that was a huge change.
Yeah.
He just did leaps and bounds. If you really do see his work in his entirety, he always had heavy hands, but he put them really good together against the last. I mean, Showtime Anthony Pettis, Nick Diaz, and Benson Henderson had trouble with his hands. So it's not just that he has power in him. Nate Diaz.
2008, he debuted UFC 91. Couture versus Lesnar was his debut bout.
Wow.
He's been there for a while. Consistent. He's never really been hurt either. I mean, he's been at least fighting 2-3 times a year since then. So, I mean, this is the working man's champion. Looks like it, right?
Yeah, and he's still, I don't think he's getting enough credit.
Yeah, the champion still. So he's now.
And it's funny because right when Dos Anjos won, there was a message from what's his name, Naganiva?
Kahib
Naganiva. It's like, oh man, the title's mine now.
Yeah, now it's like, okay, it's going to be Cowboy or is it Kahib's belt to take now? So he's still not getting respect as a champion still.
If anything, this makes a little bit.
And he was hurt too. He tore his MCL coming into the fight, I think. He was almost going to pull out, he said. So all credit goes to RDS. So co-main event saw Joanna Jeznierznik, or Joanna J, however you want to call her, completely destroy champion Carla Esparza on the feet. Second round TKO. I think a lot of people were saying that she stole the show. I know in my book she stole the show. Just your thoughts on the Joanna J performance?
Even on the weigh-in?
Yeah.
Oh man, she looked intense.
Yeah.
What was it like? She was underneath her.
I like that though. I like that she's confident.
I think it carried over to the fight. To be honest.
I haven't seen a mismatch like that since Brock Lesnar and John Cena. I think she played the cards right because no one really knew about her. Then comes fight week, and she is blowing up. She's doing all the right things. She wants you to hate her and love her, which I think it's the perfect recipe. I mean, the thing that John Jones doesn't get is he has to embrace the hate.
Yeah.
And I think she was doing her thing, not caring which side she was on. She was just doing her thing, and that translates to people being interested in it.
Yes, I think her confidence, her performance won a ton of fans last night. Other than her nickname, Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza kind of was on the boring side to me. But do you think a brash, outspoken, confident champion is a good thing for any new division? I mean, think if Mighty Mouse was super confident, like Conor McGregor, out there talking trash. But wouldn't that the flyweight division be more prominent than it is now? So a new division needs a champion like this, don't they?
I mean, you always want a champion that's very outgoing. That can drive in the fans to watch. And I think Ronda Rousey's that. John Jones is that. I mean, Cain Velasquez is that. These guys are in front of the camera. People love them. People hate them. I don't know why certain people hate Cain Velasquez, though. But and I'm talking about a specific example of Jason Hendricks.
Jason Hendricks, our good friend Jason Hendricks.
But Cookie Monster, yeah, she seemed too quiet.
She kind of let Joanna dominate her, like you said in the weigh-ins.
Yeah, and then I also saw a comment that she made that she's I'll let my fighting in the ring do all the talking.
We are in the era of Conor McGregor and Chael Sonnen, aren't we, Albert?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Even the whole time she seemed timid. She one-word answers, stuff like that. And as a champion, I think in a certain way you have to kind of show your personality and kind of really get the fans into you. I mean, even Anthony Pettis, who I think was a quiet champion, he still showed that swagger.
Yeah, the swagger.
That was enough, I think, for people to really get behind him.
Even Benson Henderson
or go against him.
Yeah, Benson wasn't a big trash talker, but he did have that swagger going on with him, right?
I don't think he even had swagger.
I just think the toothpick. Come on.
But you guys thought he had swagger. I think people overlooked that toothpick. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, if you think about fighting with a toothpick and people didn't how do I say, sell it to the crowd? I mean, come on.
So, congratulations to the two new champions. I think it's an exciting card. It's good to see two titles change hands. Exciting. Gives us something to talk about. So, other highlights from the card I guess we'll talk about. Sergio Pettis got kicked in the butt. Literally, after he lost to his opponent,
the guy that did
Ryan Benoit.
Yeah, he apologized after that.
Kind of heat in the moment thing. It looked pretty bad in slow motion, but we'll see if Ryan Benoit lost any fans or gained any fans because of that. I want to point out our former guest, the best hair in MMA, Elias Theodore, won. TKO, right? Super awkward kind of fighting, but I love its style. It was quick to make a joke of Joe Rogan, so I think a star in the making, right?
Yeah. I think his future is bright.
Yes, exactly. Albert, what do you think?
And the hair is bright.
No, any man that could keep that. I mean, the hair was getting kind of messed up during the fight, but as soon as it was after, he did a nice comb over. Look good.
He doesn't have the Dominic Cruz hair that doesn't even move while he fights.
That's pretty impressive too. Also, Ross Pearson knocked out Sam Stout pretty viciously. Was pretty horrible. And also, the Reem demolishes Roy Nelson. You guys talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I kind of do. So my first thing is I saw Roy Nelson said that Overeem ran too much.
Yeah.
Which I kind of.
It should be noted that Albert's smiling now because if you go to our Instagram account, we have the picks for the fight. Gamon and I both picked Nelson. Albert was the only one who picked Overeem, so he's smiling right now at that.
But see, the only reason I think Roy Nelson wanted to slug it out. And,
obviously.
And I think that's why he was disappointed. But the more I thought about this, I even sent you guys a comment on the Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a Brock Lesnar tournament and we never talked about it. It was and you think about it, all these four guys, if you think about it, were the perfect matchup for Brock Lesnar. Bigfoot, Roy Nelson, Alistair Overeem, and Frank Mir. So now we have Frank Mir versus Alistair Overeem.
And the winner gets Brock Lesnar again.
I would be surprised if that matchup doesn't happen and then the winner gets Brock Lesnar when he returns.
Could happen. I mean, the heavyweight division is just a bunch of guys who fight.
Yeah, but I really want Brock Lesnar to face also Overeem because I think I think the ending's gonna be completely different. I think Overeem's not the same fighter he was when he fought Brock Lesnar. And with that said, I think Brock Lesnar might even demolish him.
Yeah, I think if Brock Lesnar does come back to UFC and train in MMA. It's going to be interesting to see who he picks as head coaches now. If he gets like a striking coach, like maybe the Duke Rufus in Milwaukee.
Cain Velasquez, you watching?
Yeah.
Please call Brock Lesnar for us.
Or even like maybe a Dwayne Ludwig. I mean, then now he's serious about striking. Because we all know he can wrestle, but if he can't take a punch. Anyways, and also, you may notice we didn't talk about Johnny Hendricks because he is boring now to me. So
he's not going for the knockouts anymore?
I guess not. So I want to ask you a question. Who stole the show in your eyes? UFC 185, Guillermo. Who's the show stealer?
The show stealer. Oh, you surprised me on that one. I want to say the women's. I forgot her
Joanna
name.
Jiznik.
Yeah, I think she stole the show.
Stole the show. Yeah. I agree with that. Who stole the show for you?
I don't want to say nobody stole the show because the show never showed itself.
Come on, Elias.
I was gonna say that was my
other than I mean, I was entertained by Elias, but I gotta give this card pretty weak. I wasn't that excited. I don't think I was very entertained.
PPV snob.
Well, to be honest,
Mr. PPV, I'm calling you now.
The pay-per-view was all right.
Yeah.
It was good. The thing is, there was no hype behind it besides Showtime.
Yeah.
Since Showtime didn't deliver, it shows that the pay-per-view wasn't as good, I guess, to Albert.
Yeah, so we should see. Anyways, another one in the books. When we come back, I want to play a game called What to Tweet, so stick around, guys.
Please visit 5roundmma.com on our social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. 5roundmma.com.
Welcome back. A little game I like to play after any big UFC pay-per-view is called What the Tweet. It's kind of where the social media goes off, where I kind of compiled the best tweets I thought surrounding UFC 185, and I read it out. And I want Albert and Guillermo to guess what famous mixed martial artists, MMA personalities sent out the tweet. So you guys ready to play?
I'm ready to go.
Can we please up the budget soon so we get some music going? So I thought I'm reducing these games, and it's kind of like lackluster. But anyways, so the first one.
It's starting to remind me. I don't know if you watch Cien Latinos. Oh man, it's Family Feud pretty much.
Oh, okay, but
and then you hear the music while they're running up there because the game's about to start. And then
I want that. Can we get that?
The dancers.
I want both of you guys come in out of camera and run up. We're gonna podium stuff in here and everything. So what the tweet? First one. This is kind of very simple. Just 2 hashtags. Hashtag destroyed and hashtag rookie. Was it A, Nate Diaz, B, Conor McGregor, or C, Khabib Nurmagomedov?
For what fight is it referencing?
I don't know. It just said hashtag destroyed, hashtag rookie.
Wait, can you read the options again? Because I was thinking my question.
Nate Diaz.
I'll just give you an
Conor
answer.
McGregor,
I got Khabib.
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
I got Nate Diaz.
Guillermo's right. I'm pretty sure
Nate Diaz is a hater.
It was referencing the Showtime Pettis fight.
Okay.
You can follow Nate Diaz at Nate Diaz 209. It's kind of mean, huh? Hashtag destroyed, hashtag rookie.
That's me.
Number 2.
That makes more sense why Nate Diaz would say that.
Number 2. If you want to be champion, don't go to parties. Go to the gym, guys. And a little winky face. Is it A, Donald Cerrone?
I know this one.
B, Bobby Green, or C, Khabib Nurmagomedov?
That's Khabib.
Man, I want to say Khabib, but something tells me Bobby Green.
Well, something tells you something wrong, bro. It's C, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
I actually saw that on the report for after the fight. Sorry.
You can follow Khabib. Well, that's good, though. You used to be good at this game. What happened?
I don't know. My Twitter game hasn't been strong lately.
You can follow Khabib on Twitter at Team.
Actually, I've been very active on Twitter, too.
Okay.
So.
At Team Khabib. Are you guys on Team Khabib now? No? Yes? No?
Sure.
5-round MMA is, I think.
We are. Number 3, congrats to RDS and the whole Brazil with the belt.
I know this one, too.
Work on your wrestling. I am coming for the belt. A, Donald Cerrone. B, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Or C, Tony Ferguson. Albert, go first.
I want to say Khabib again, but I'm going to say Tony Ferguson.
Oh, what?
El Cucuy is Khabib, dude.
It's Khabib Nurmagomedov at Team Khabib. All right, so number 4, JJ Joanne just took all of Carla's cookies from the opening bell. Was it A, Kenny Florian, B, Will Brooks, the up-and-coming Bellator fighter, or C, Joe Rogan?
Me?
Yeah, go whoever.
Okay, that one's a trick one. I didn't see this tweet. Joe Rogan?
I'm trying to get all of them wrong, so I'm going to say Kenny Florian.
Wrong is Will Brooks.
Oh, I knew it was Will Brooks. No, you didn't.
Throwing the game, are you? Number 5, last one. I'm officially on the Joanna bandwagon. Who's coming with me? Was it A, Uriah Faber, B, Cub Swanson, or C, your boy Guillermo Frankie Edgar?
I went first last time.
Okay, so I'm going to say Cub Swanson.
My boy Frankie Edgar.
Nope. Cub Swanson.
I'm actually not happy. I was trying to get them all wrong.
I got 2 wrong.
You threw the game, let alone you still won. I think you still. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. Whoever won. That was what the tweet.
I won. I got 3 right.
You got 3 right. Yeah. Social media. Speaking of social media, why don't you follow us on Twitter at 5Round MMA. Also subscribe to us on YouTube. Podomatic, like us on Facebook. Also follow us on Instagram at 5Round MMA. That's FIVE. If you're listening to us for the first time or if you're a long-time follower, thank you very much. UFC 185 in the books. You got one final sway to want to let the people out? Nothing? Showtime? No hashtags? Nothing? Come on, guys.
I'm excited for the next pay-per-view, though.
Which is? I don't remember.
Is the hashtag still the showtime is now? Or was it the show is now?
The show is now. Or the time is now. Well, the hashtag for this
one. The time is over.
Yeah, this one now is the show is over for this one. How about that?
And the show's over. Our show's over.
Albert, take us away.
I just want to thank everybody for listening. Our executive producer, Guillermo Cita. Just thanks everybody.
All of our sponsors.
All our sponsors. Come on, man. We're trying to get paid.
Sporting here. 5 Rounds clothing line. I just forgot something. I was like, I'm forgetting something.
Oh my gosh.
All of our 5 Rounds sponsors. Who, without them, the show wouldn't be possible every week.
We wouldn't smell clean. We wouldn't look fresh. And we would be bullying if it wasn't for our sponsors.
For 5 Rounds clothing, rocking green, eco-friendly cleaning products, and of course the RMA Foundation of Redemption Martial Arts. Thank you all for listening, and see you guys next week.
I feel like Mr. Kennedy.
The microphone in the hand.
I know.
A wrestling reference.
Every time you grab it, sorry, getting hit. Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.